Mm. All right, good evening, and welcome into the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin, your astrologer. I'm watching the skies for you, and we will, in the next hour, have a talk with people in our chat room and see what's concerning them this week. And we will do readings for the people in our chat room as they come by and show you from your end, say you're watching this podcast later on, uh, the way that psychic readings are done. I'm a tarot card reader myself, and I receive messages from my guiding spirits who hear the guiding spirits of the people who ask me questions. And the everything is really based upon the fact that every soul on planet Earth has spirit guides, has people, well, souls from the spirit world who have an interest in the emotions of that particular human, and that's why they're taking a ride in this particular lifetime with that human. Now, your guides try to influence you, and your guides try to guide your path. They do this by talking to you in the voice that you will trust most, your own. So it's that voice that my guides hear, and tell me what's going on there. And here's Cody in our chat room saying, "Hey, Cody, we're still in Pisces for another few days, and this is Pisces is the 12th house. So we've all in this past month we've all been affected by this need to connect with the spirit world. That's what Pisces is. Pisces is the doorway between the material world and the spirit world. So during the Pisces time of the year that we're just finishing up this weekend, we all of us, and especially we people who are Pisces, are greatly affected by the need to get together not only with our own spirit guides and with the spirit world, but with other people, doing, say, readings for other people. It's what is mandated by Pisces. This is and it's even more powerful right now because the ruling planet Neptune is in Pisces and will be for over another year. This has been going on for several years now. Neptune is so far away from the sun that to move through a sign takes 25 to 40 years. So this is why we stay in Neptune stays in signs for so long. But right now, Neptune is in the old home planet. It is it's bringing love to the world. It's helping people do things like in the drought in California, didn't they? Though you think there wasn't prayer involved in the worst drought that had ever been in California? Everyone was praying for the same thing. Everyone in the entire area out there was praying for rain, some sort of precip to come down. And boy, you can get too much of a good thing. You can overdo it. That it's there's something that Jesus said that's in the Bible about when am I going to get my great reward? And Jesus said, only know that you have asked. So to To keep asking for something can sometimes bring about consequences. Cody says that his rising sign is Pisces. So that's the way that people see you, is through that rising sign. Cody, if I was to pull just a card on you tonight, woo, look at you. You're getting ready to step off into the unknown. That's what what our Joker is about to do here. Is he's looking up at the sun. He's not worried about where his feet are going. He knows that when he steps off into the unknown, his guides are going to build, give him a parachute, build him a soft landing place. They're going to account for him coming off of that ledge. You don't have to worry, Cody. You and this is a wonderful thing about having the self-confidence to be able to do new things, to take on the new rather than get stuck in the old. We get so comfortable sometimes in what we're doing that we forget we have to release everything sooner or later. You've got to let it go, no matter how good it is, or no matter how bad it is. You can't wallow in the bad, right? But the amount of love that's in the world right now is directly connected and correlated to the amount of hate that's in the world right now. And here's Cody saying, what we need is a balance. And that is exactly it. What we have to do is balance the amount of love and the amount of hate that's in the world. And that's something we can do. It's something we can regulate and help each other with, because there's in the past couple of decades there's been such a change to hatred, hate and lies. These seem to be the new way of communicating. And yes, does the shadow ever know? Cody says the shadow knows. This is you. You know what your shadow is. It's your soul. It's and your soul is always watching everything that you do. Everything. This is why some people can get so completely off the path, because they know that in their past they have done something that has to offend God. They know this, and they stop trying to do good because they think it's already over with. That God can never forgive what they have done in their life, because every one of us 8 billion people on this planet think that we're the unique case. That what happened to us gives us the right to take revenge forever and never get enough. And that's the thing, isn't it? Is that God can forgive anything. That's why God is God. The uncreated creator doesn't get angry. That's not the way that this universe works. So, Cody, let's see what's about to come into your life here. What is just about to what are you going to find when you go off of that lover's leap that you're about to go sailing off of? Is change. And this is how you do it. You make the leap of faith. That's what you're being asked to do here, is to make a leap of faith, Cody, to trust yourself and your connection to the spirit world. Your how much God loves you, to be able to take a risk, take a new path, try something new, and that's always good. You have to release the old and make way for the new. And here's SJ checking in, Franklin, and good to see you also, SJ. That's today we changed from the moon sign changed in the middle of the day from Capricorn to Aquarius. We went from caring so much about what the world thinks about us to uh, doing our own thing, doing everything outside the box. Aquarius is the risk taker. And so let's see here. SJ, is there anything that you would like to ask SJ for this evening, or would you rather I just pulled a card on you and, and get into your head that way? or is there something in particular on your mind? Just want us to pull one. Okay, let me see what your guides are trying to say to you, SJ. That comes across is you going to the head of the class, you becoming the teacher of the class. You, your kids are need instruction, need need the balance of someone who's been there and done that, and also loves them. That's that. So there's a talk that you need to have with the kids, SJ. Uh, it's and it's about what you do, about your work. Something they need to know about how you spend your time, how you're helping the world. Wow. Isn't it wonderful to have kids? Because sooner or later, yeah, they're going to ask all the questions, all the questions. That's what they're here to do. And Cody says yes, to have faith. See, we saw Cody taking that step off into the unknown. If you don't have faith in your connection to the unknown world, then you don't do things like that. You hold back. You don't take chances because you feel like your luck is running bad because of the way that you're looking at it. And that's all good luck and bad luck are the way that we look at what we receive. Very, very seldom do we get exactly what we ask for. I mean, look at what's happening in California right now. They had a drought. They prayed for rain, and they kept on praying. They just kept on praying, and now, boy, they're praying for the end of it. To please, that's enough. When when the people of this country have raised the Mississippi River, which was so low that there were places on the Mississippi they couldn't even send the barges anymore. To think that in this country that we can do something like that because of the power of people, the sheer number of people thinking the same thought at the same time, and think about how that also works with hate. How we can concentrate so greatly on our hatred of something that we really bend ourselves around getting revenge. And this is the great lesson that we have never learned from movies and television, is that revenge gets you nowhere. Only in the movies are you allowed to do anything in revenge for whatever the writer of the piece feels like is unforgivable. That you cannot possibly forgive what was done to you, because you feel like, of the 8 billion people on this planet, only you really had that experience. And so forgiving is obviously the hardest thing that a human can possibly do. Now let's think about our life path. You're here to do something. You're here to show people something. And why would it not be the hardest thing in the world for you to do? Why wouldn't that be your life path? If it was easy, why would it be your life path? Why would you keep getting reincarnated and running this thing again? Here's Cody saying, I thought about my zodiac sign numbers. Good example, my sun sign Taurus, the second sign, and moon sign is Sagittarius, the ninth sign, and my rising sign Pisces is in the 12th house. Now this is a very good thing to look at. That your sun sign is in the second house, and the moon sign when you were born was in the ninth house. So your ninth house on the inside and second house on the outside, what you show to the world. Now, if you add that together, a 9 plus 2, which is how we get like a relationship number between two people. So it must work the same as with the two sides of you. You have your emotional side and you have your logical side. So when you bring those two together, the 9 plus 2 equals 11, which you add the 1 plus the 1, and you're going to get a 2, where you have to come together with people. You have to get out there and help people, and you find that your relationships are just they're hot. Everybody enjoys being in your company and working with you and doing things with you. It's you're working very good numbers in this lifetime. Cody says, even my Venus sign, Gemini, third sign, and Capricorn, the 10th sign. There's a numbered house for each and everything that goes on in your life. And those numbered houses pass through every 28-day cycle. And we've got 13 of those every year, where we go through a 28-day cycle where the moon sign changes all of the different signs of the zodiac. You go from Aries all the way through Pisces every 28 days. Cody says, so I got the number 2, 3, 9, 10, and 12. So it is possible to line your numbers up, such as your date of birth, and see the flow of your entire life through the numbers that represent your date of birth. That mine begins with a 0 and ends with a 0, which makes perfect sense to me. I began in the spirit world. I'll return to the spirit world, and the fact that our soul, our spirit, moves from lifetime to lifetime lets us know one of the great truths of this universe. Well, and that's if the soul doesn't die. You can't kill the soul. That the human body can die, sure. So to take sacred revenge for the death of a human body has always been totally wrong. Bringing revenge, bringing hatred into the world. This is where so much of it comes from. Because when we lose certain people, we feel like we owe more revenge simply because they were a certain person rather than just one of the 8 billion. Cody says, I meant to put my Jupiter sign in Capricorn. Jupiter is what we were talking about earlier. Being overserved, getting too much of a good thing, getting the rains in California that won't stop, the storm after storm after storm, beating this one particular place. And it's because it has been brought on by the people all wanting that rain so much. They couldn't grow their crops anymore. There was fire coming out of the ground in California. Things were so hot and so dry. Fires were being started coming out of the ground. And one of the big things that has been causing planet change is the amount of lies that are being told. And I mean, in the entire world, there's always been one way for us to release things that we don't need from our body, and that's to send it back into the earth. And when we send all of what we don't want into the earth, it creates friction, especially when we're putting lies into the earth. This is what's causing things to be so warm and to keep getting warmer. The rains and the snows out west now are to try and get it back into balance. Once you you can't have change without getting to the worst, without things getting just as bad as they can possibly get. And here's Cody saying, like I said before, I started on May the 5th and then ended on May the 6th. Now that is it's all numbers go together. My father died in 1987 on June the 7th, 6, 7, 8, 9, and he died at 1:23 a.m. And if he happened to have died at 45 seconds past that minute, then he died at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes your number is up. Cody says, and then add with 5, 5, and 5, 6. I see the May 5th and the May 6th. And so what is your grand total here, Cody? What number are you seeing, like your final number? What is the grand total of all of your different sign numbers? You can add up your birth date for this year, your birthday this year, add those numbers up, and you'll see which year in the 9-year cycle that you're currently in. So what am I? I'm 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 and 7 is 12. So I'm in year 3 right now of my 9-year cycle. This is when, like this is when you get the help that you need from like the sun and the rain coming to make your crop grow. This is when others come in and help you out in this third year. And here we are. We have our chat room here of those who are asking for readings tonight. And we're going to do our best to be sure that everyone has a full reading tonight, and that they're still here for this, to be able to show on the podcast later on how that's done, and why it's done, what we can find out. So Cody, what is okay, we'll check on that in a minute. Here's Demarius coming in. Demarius, this is good to see you again. How have things been going today for you as the moon sign shifted from Capricorn, where we all want the world to love us, into Aquarius, where we don't give a darn what the world thinks. We're going to do what we want to do. And Demarius says, my favorite place. Well, thank you very much, dear. It's great to have you in the chat room, and to let's see what is in your mind tonight. That's you want to know if someone is telling you the truth. So there must be someone that you're doubting what it is that they're telling you. And it looks like you have every reason to. That this person is saying one thing and doing another. So you're right, Damaris, to want to have more information here. I mean, you don't know the whole story. So, and Damaris says that's right. Cody says, Jackie Gleason died on June 24th, 87. So your grandfather. Yeah. It is a strange place to be at a funeral, because if you will really concentrate, you'll see the soul of that person there. The one who has died, their soul will be there looking to see who's there. They want to know who really cared about them. And it's a place and a time when you can really connect with the other souls. And Cody, I think, has had an experience very much like this. There's a certain hallowed feeling in a cemetery. There really is, and you almost always go there with family members, people that you're very close to, and it's I always feel that connection, and I think the most the most memorable time for me came about 10 years ago, when I was alone in this room right here, and out of the wall came what I would later know was a casket. And laying in that box was someone who looked very much like me. And I was startled. The first thing I said was, "Ah!" And it made the entire vision end. And just about 2 months after that, my I have a large family. My very first nephew died of a stroke, had an aneurysm, and at the funeral, it was the first time I'd seen him in 3 or 4 years. And there he was in the casket, looking very much like me, wearing glasses as the person in the casket had. And I realized that that was exactly who that was. And the reason that he had come to me was to see if I was going to miss him. What was the reason that the vision had come months before was that he had a premonition that he was going to die. And he was able to travel, to go to the people who meant something to him, and to find out if he was going to be missed. And so it's a real connection point to those who have gone to the spirit world. Here's Izzy saying hi. Izzy, out there right now under that Aquarius moon. Izzy, well, it came upside down, didn't it? And so this is you. This is other people flattering you, trying to get what they want from you by telling you how great you are. That card came upside down. That means you got these people figured out. You've got them cold. You're not going to fall for it, Izzy. So then it's their way of trying to manipulate you, trying to get what they want from you. Excuse me. This is how my guides say, "Right on, man." That's the truth. And that comes from the heart. My guides live inside of me, where the entire universe is. Each of us carry around the spirit world inside of us. Excuse me. Each of us have God within inside of us. Each of us is God's child. Each of us is worth being here. This is why we have to watch out for each other. I know it's important. I'm trying. I'm trying to get it out. But this is why we're here for each other. This is why we're on Earth. And Izzy says right. Cody says, I remember the dreams of talking with Milton Pearl in that dream. And we were sitting down in chairs close to a table and talking. To think that Mr. Burl put something on tape 50, 75 years ago that still has an effect on another soul, to the point that Mr. Burl can come into a dream and sit down and talk. This is one of the many ways that spirits can choose to exist in the spirit world. Not everybody comes back as a spirit guide. Not everybody comes right back reincarnated into another life. There must be about 8 billion different ways for a soul to connect to God. And souls are like God. They don't die. You can't kill a soul. So this is what you have to remember before you take sacred revenge for another. And this is why war is so wrong. It's just totally against what we should be doing. Yes, he says, lift your hands up. Well, is he? Let's see. Izzy said, right. And then Izzy said, lift your hands up. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Cody says, another dream that he had was myself at the theater, seeing Jackie Gleason as the poor soul character walks out and the screen and then the next screen. And they started walking together. There's hands up when you cough. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I am spreading germs, and that is not a good idea. We all need to watch out for each other. It is a fact, and the wonderful thing is that every person on this earth has the ability to be as good as anyone who's ever been on this earth. Demarius says, when you dream of someone passed on, giving you iron, of someone passed on, giving you iron to press clothes with. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean there, Damaris. We'll get further clarification here in a moment. Our people are chatting among themselves. That's and sometimes that happens. It's a wonderful get together for people who have psychic ability and want to share not only what they see of each other, but to share their own lives, the things that go on. It's a terrible mistake for anyone to say that they never make a mistake, because we all do. And it's the most generous souls on this earth are the ones who allow others to learn from their mistakes. This has always been the way of the world, and the more we can learn from each other, the better people we're going to be, the stronger souls we're going to be, the better influence we're going to have. And that's why we're all here, is to influence each other, to be a good influence. Cody, Method Dreams, the meaning of dreams is usually connected to the moon sign that the moon rose in, and you can really find out that there are truly all 12 of the different signs exist within everybody. And everyone sees during different times of the year different ways of looking at the world by looking through that lens that is the houses 1 through 12 that have always shown people the different personalities of the different souls. Pythagoras was a believer in numerology, and Pythagoras was on this earth about 600 years before the time of Jesus, and that's about the same time that the Buddha was in India teaching the concept of the middle road. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Pythagoras taught in the school of Stoicism, the Greek school, and they taught the same thing. Don't get too high, don't get too low. And Pythagoras said that there was great truth in numbers because words were meant to hide the truth. So many different variations in words where you could really hide behind the words, but the numbers give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So Pythagoras looked at numbers and came up with the concept of negative numbers below zero, -1, -2, and through that path the existence of the unseen spirit world. And he came very close to creating his own religion. So numbers have been with us for a long, long time, and they provide the path that shows you what you're going to do in this lifetime. That when you add all of your birth numbers together, if somebody was born today on March the 17th, on St. Patrick's Day of 2023, if you add up all of their numbers, what you're going to get from that birth date is 1 plus 8. And of course, that equals 9. So a 189 is the life. 1-8, those are the building blocks. Those are the different things that are going to really shape your life. And the 9, the total, shows the influence that you're going to have on other people. What you're going to show those people that they don't know, and you're the one who's there to do it. So anyone born today is a number 9, and that means you light the path. You are the groundbreaker. You're the one who shows others how it's done, and how it's done with grace. That you don't have to have anger and hatred in everything that you do. And so often when we are surprised, anytime something sneaks up on us, our first reaction is anger. Think about yourself in traffic, in heavy traffic out there, and somebody cuts you off. Well, anger is the first of all the emotions, and anger causes so much trouble when you don't get it out. So scream therapy inside your own car is the best thing that you can do to release the pressures. And I think one of the most stressful things that anybody has to do at any time in this life is to experience road rage, and to have to be out in major city traffic. And to think that you have to be there again tomorrow or drive back home that afternoon. One of one of the great stress relievers that's ever going to come into this world is self-driving cars. Cars that brake before they ever run into anything. I mean, what a wonderful idea. And what are we going to do? Take away people's freedom to drive stupidly, to drive 120 miles an hour in traffic? That just won't happen anymore. Once the driverless cars are truly here, and they're going to have a hard time ever taking ownership away from individuals. But it goes on with anything. Ring bells at them. Well, that's that is something that you can feel, Demarius, in traffic. When someone behind you, the car behind you, is really angry at you and they yell at you, you can feel that on the back of your neck. You can actually feel the hatred that comes through. It's just amazing what people go through, what personality changes they have, and how they will try to take out other parts of their life. Say they had a bad day at work, right, and take it out on traffic, on the people that cannot possibly get out of their way. And that's fighting the same thing is very tough when there is no answer to it. And the every man for himself approach that we have now is so wasteful. Not only in there's over 100,000 people die in this country unneededly through car accidents every year. That it's incredible that we would keep sacrificing all of those lives. So yes. So the problem now, of course, is guns inside of cars, and people actually shooting at each other. Yeah. And in big cities like Chicago, you get out there on the interstates and everybody's stopped at like a toll gate, and it's nothing to see somebody fire a shot at another car. And yes, SJ, the upset is that you can't get back at those people. You can't get your revenge. And if you do these days, if you make the mistake of insulting the wrong person, you can actually die. I mean, it truly is that bad. And people who live in smaller towns don't have to face that. This is why people move out of the cities into smaller towns. And it truly is the best thing for your health. And Cody says, tougher biter. I don't know. Yeah. There's so many different ways that people try to cope with traffic problems, and it's all because of the inventors of the interstate highways, bringing those interstate highways right into the downtown areas. And to think that when they first built the interstates, it was 75 miles an hour anywhere on the interstate. Well, SJ says, not worried about means just accidents. Okay, so think about the changes that will come when we have self-driving cars and no more accidents. all of the industries that will go of the way of the buggy whip factory, right? Just not be needed. All that car repair, all of the cemetery work. My goodness. I mean, 100,000 people are not going to be dying anymore. And here's Nene saying, Nene, good to have you with us tonight. Let me just turn a card for Nene and see what's going on with her. Oh boy, Nene, this is a gift to you from the universe. It's a gift of love. And maybe it's me. I offer that to you. You've come to the right place, and we will. I'll look at anything that you want to look at. If there's if there's something that you want seen, then that's exactly what we'll do. This is your gift. It's your time, and you've got friends here who want to be a help, who need your help. And you complete the circle here. It's very good to have you along. So the maybe what a happy home. Happy home. See all the different generations. The it's you finding comfort at home and within the family, and you're going to get the support that you need. You're gonna find that not only do you have the support of your friends here, but also in your family. This is it's very good. It's very good that you ask for the help. This is something that we all have so much trouble with, is asking for the help that we need. And when our guides give us an answer, to believe it. This is why psychics have so much trouble reading themselves, because they want a certain answer and they're not willing to accept the answer that they get from their spirit guides. So turning off your ego and accepting answers, that's how you get psychic messages. When you act upon the information that your guides give to you, this is how you say thank you. This is what they want. This is why they're with you, to experience your emotions and to experience especially love. That would be what would be missing in the life of a spirit guide. Here's Cody saying, I remember one time walking on the side, a few guys in a car passing, but my specific person was passing by in a brown truck and waved at me. As in traffic is where you can find yourself. And the ones that you're looking for. That's what the dream was about. See, Cody, is you discerning from the different colors of the cars who was in them. And You going on the colors. Oh. Nini says, I got scammed by one of the readers on YouTube. Oh, man. Well, there's always people who misuse what they have. Uh, but it's it's so much easier to just tell the truth, to just tell what you see, even though sometimes people do get upset, and sometimes you hear things that you thought only you knew existed, and that's for many people that's the aha moment where that's their epiphany, and that's when they really start believing. So, and it can be such a strange experience to have someone see what's in your mind that you don't think anyone else sees, and tell you about those people and what they look like, and it will open your eyes to the fact that people do have a oh man. So Nini got scammed out of $150. Well, when you think about all of the good that goes along, it's you just have to accept the bad too. And the more, Nini, that you deal with different people, the better you'll get at reading them. And it's a wonderful idea to have yourself your own deck of cards and get even yes and no answers. Yes is even numbers. No is odd numbers. If you get a Upper Arcadia card, the answer is yes, if you go along with the idea that is being presented on that card. And the royalty. King is no, queen is yes, jack is no, the knave is yes. It's even on the telephone, people's voices reveal everything about them. There is nothing. When I do psychic phone calls, I have no idea who that person is, but through their voice, I can hear everything, and that's their guides talking through their voice. And he says, through the own cards, and just learning and trying to get the meaning of the cards. It does take a while. Of course it does. And that's one of the things that I really like about doing this cosmic watch, is that we get to see the inner workings and explain what I'm seeing on those cards. And hopefully this will give people their own ability to read. and I do thank you all so much for being here this evening. And forget about praying sometimes turns into asking for things rather than listening. Meditation is listening and appreciating the silence and knowing that you are going to hear something. So it's really tarot reading, good, not too bad. Everything's a circle, dear. Everything is a circle. Good and bad are two spots on the same line. They exist on that same line. Uh, yes, yes, and even when you get scammed, even the scammers. That's what Jesus was talking about, right? When somebody steals your coat, give them also your hat and your overcoat. That would lead to such a connection with the spirit world. Wow, I'm not there. I don't think many people are there on this planet, but it's a goal. It's yes, it's okay. God will protect you regardless, of course. So you don't have to worry about tomorrow. If that person needed that $150 that bad to work that hard for it, and you supplied it, you were the giver, and that's the way to look at it and write it off. So thank you to everyone in the chat room. Thank you to everyone watching the podcast, and I will see you next time. I'm Franklin, same time, same station on Friday nights.